Well, in today's episode of Value in My Toy Collection, I have a ton of little stuff I have to value, and this should be my last video of these tiny toys, and I'll say what they're worth at the end.
Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more.
My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum. So it's finally happened. I've bought a building, and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults.
So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection, and then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies.
So let's start this episode of Value in My Toy Collection and value some toys. Well, I just picked these up at Walmart. These are Care Bears dressed as characters from Stranger Things. And these were $15 each at Walmart, but they're already selling for $30 each online. So that's pretty impressive. They've already doubled in price. All right, next up I have these little rubber ducks of Disney characters, and these are worth about $2 each, so that's $6. And our little Groot Funko, he's worth about $6. Going back retro, we have this new Jimmy Neutron block set. It's worth about $18, and this new Bert and Ernie figure set worth about $16. Then I just got this at Walmart. It's a Bluey door greeter for Christmas, and he's worth about $30. And then we have a Wonder Woman scalar figure worth $8, and a Funko Rock Candy Wonder Woman figure worth about $10. That Thor figure, he's worth about $6. And then from 1993, we have a Mr. Freeze figure worth $8. Any Spider-Man's worth $2, and Two-Faces from 1993 is worth $6. Now this is really cool. This is from 1963. It's a Beverly Hillbillies car. Now I paid a lot of money for this because I wanted it for the toy museum. I paid about $350 for it, and it's almost complete, but that's about what it's worth, $350. I've seen some going on eBay for $500, but they might have the original box. So I think $350 is a fair price. Little vintage Mark Twain Steamboat pencil sharpeners worth about $12. Then I have a little assortment of Winnie the Pooh items, and all these small items together are probably worth about $12. And then in the back, we have the big remote control Winnie the Pooh set, and it's worth about $20. Here's a Donald Trump commemorative coin worth about $12 for those of you that are supporters of Donald Trump. And then we have a Raggedy Ann and Andy figurine. They're worth about $4 each, and this whole lot of Chuck E. Cheese tokens is worth about $8, about $1 each. Then we have a couple of vintage Barbies here. They're not worth a whole lot, but they're worth at least about $6 each. And this remote control Zero Dog from Nightmare Before Christmas is worth $20. Now this, I just went to Cinemark movie theater to see Wicked, and I ended up seeing this Avatar popcorn bucket for sale. So I got in line to pay for it. I thought it was gonna be like $50. It was $87. Here's my helper Daisy helping me at the toy museum today. And anyway, that popcorn bucket ended up being worth $120. Now I got 3 boxes of these Playmobil characters, and they're all worth about $8 each. And then I have a couple blind bags with mystery figures inside, and these are worth at least $4 each. I love Playmobil figures. I got this Mochi Monster at Ollie's, and it's worth $15. And then at Ollie's, I also picked up these Ghostbuster figures. This is from the newer movie a year or two ago, and they were $4.99 each, but they're already worth $15 each. Ollie's is a closeout place, so I did pretty good on those, I thought. Random chair for the bathroom we're renovating at the toy museum. It's worth about $25. And then at Ollie's, they had this one Cleopatra doll from LOL, and she's worth about $30, and that's what I did pay for her. Now next up, we have a lot of little people and a lot of animals. All together, these are worth about $72 if I valued them at $3 each. Got an empty can of SpaghettiOs, and this Wicked pasta turns mystery green or pink if you're good or bad, and they're all worth about $5 for all of it. We've got these 3D Christmas figures worth about $15 for the lot. I thought these were super cute. I got these off my Whatnot app. And then I got these vintage trolls. And the whole lot of all of them, when I add them up, they're worth about $19. And here's some vintage Ghostbuster figures. The Can Man, he's worth about $5 because I think he's missing a part. And then these two figures are worth about $7 each. And we have a loose Phoebe, who's a newer one. She's worth about $6. Got this whole lot of McDonald's little Transformer characters, and the whole lot's worth about $27. Got a Thai Flamingo, probably worth about $4. And then we got this vintage Mickey Mouse. He's worth about $20 from Applause. He's pretty old. Next up, we got this Barbie plush, still with a tag on, worth about $13. I think it's a puppy. It's either a dog or a cat, but I think it's a dog. Then I got a LOL doll, still in the package, worth about $12. And then from 2009, this glowworm, also worth about $12. Then I got two more vintage Barbies. These are worth about $6 each. And then we have these little Tsum Tsums. I always value these about $3 each unless there's something really rare. And this little vintage ladybug plush is worth about $3. And then I think her name is Elena of Avalon or Avalor, a little Funko. She's worth about $5 loose. And then in the back here, we have these little honeybee mini babies still in the box. And these are all worth about $5 each, so that's about $25 more we can add to our total. Then I got these dolls. These are so cool to me. They're called Bloom Surprise dolls. We have a total of 7 of these, and they're worth at least $4 each, so that's $28. And then we have these dolls that are called Cry Babies. We have 2 in their little houses that are worth about $8 each, and then all these little ones loose are worth $5 each. So that's what, $16 and $68 more. This little Care Bear house and figures worth about $12. A little Baybar family set worth about $10. And then these vintage Tarzan straws from McDonald's still in the box, or the package, I should say, and they're worth about $6 each. Probably butcher this next guy's name coming up, but I think it's Dr. Jumba Jakiba. He's from Lilo and Stitch. He's worth $7, and then Stitch on the Surfboard's worth $12. I got these 2 loose dolls. They're worth about $5 each. Then I got this really cool kimono and obi, which is the belt from my Whatnot app. And I paid $7 for this, and it's vintage, and I think it's from the 70s. I don't think it's worth a whole lot of money, but I might put it on a mannequin. There's my helper. Here's the obi, and I think it's probably going to be worth about at least $25. Happy Meal lot of toys is worth about $15, and then this Happy Meal lot of toys with the McDonald Land characters dressed up in their Halloween costumes, they're probably worth about $12. I'd say about at least $3 each. Now this McDonald's train set's probably worth about $12. Got a little mini Fortnite pop worth about $5. An Elf on the Shelf memory game worth about $6. A little Sherlock Holmes figure, he's worth $8. And then this whole Fraggle Rock lot is worth about $20. Got a Simpson character here, he's worth about $4. Have these little Kelly dolls worth about $3 each, and then the one in the box in the back is worth about $15. And this Wednesday Atom figure still in the box is also worth about $15. We have the Sad figure from Inside Out. She's worth about $6. And then we have 10 of these little Princess Toddler dolls. They're worth $3 each, so that's $30 more. A couple Happy Meal toy Madame Alexander dolls. They're worth about $2 each. And then a little vintage cupcake doll. She's worth about $5. Then I got a little lot of Monster High shoes and stuff worth about $7. And a LOL big doll worth about $5. And some LOL furniture worth about $7. Then I've got this huge lot of LOL small dolls and pets. And I always say they're worth about $3 each. So this would be $69 worth of LOL small dolls. Now next up we have just a big assortment of little toys, and I don't want to go through all of them, so we're just going to say $1 each. So that's $20 worth of toys there. And then we have this big Disney lot. Now it's loaded, and a lot of these figures are worth $3 each, $4 each. So I did all the math, adding all of this up, and this is easily worth about $100 for all of these. And then I did the same thing with our Sesame Street figures. I didn't want to go through every single one because it would take forever. But when I added all of these up, this is about $45 worth of small Sesame Street toys. You've got to love these little vintage Weeble Wobbles. Weebles wobble, but they never fall down. All right, we have this little Olympic coin. This is worth about $5. It's pretty cool. I think I got that from Whatnot. Then we've got these little mix-em-up monsters from McDonald's, and they're worth about $5 each. Then we have a Catwoman. She's probably worth about $1. And then we have Mac Tonight, the whole set of 4. We'll say $4 each, so that's about $16 for that set. And the little Ronald McDonald alarm clock's worth $5. Now we have a whole nother lot of toys. We're just going to say $1 each, so that's another $20 in toys right there. And then we have another little set of Little People, 7 of those, so that's another $21 worth of Little People. Here's a lot of Fry Guys from McDonald's. We have 8 of these. We'll say they're worth $4 each, but they might be worth more than that. So that's $32. And then we have some little Asian anime figures, and they're worth at least $3 each. We've got some Puppy Surprise puppies, $3 each for those. A little Tsum Tsum worth $3. And then we have a Pop Mart Manor mystery figure worth about $5. Have some La La Loopsy pets. We have the cat worth about $5 and the elephant's worth $8. And then we have another lot of toys here. These are worth about $2 each, so that's about $20. This is pretty cool. This is called a Sector Warrior. She's worth about $8. And this little Shopkins lot is worth about $5. Rub-a-dub-dub 3 Men in the Tub Yellow Figure Man. He's worth about $6. Then we have this little lot of wind-up toys worth about $6. Now these are cool. These are called Baby Born Surprises. They come in these little bathtubs. They have a little lid that's shaped like bubbles of soap. And then they're dressed in these little cloth outfits. Now I opened one up and this is what they look like. But we have about 5 of these and that's about $20 worth. We have this Tsum Tsum lot. I figure the big ones are worth about $3 each and then $1 for the small ones. So that's about $27 more we can add to our overall grand total just from these little Tsum Tsums. And then here's another lot of miscellaneous toys. We'll say $1 each. That's $10 more. And then this lot is about $2 each. It's a little bit nicer toys. So that's about $40 worth of small toys right there. I found my 7th Missing Bloom doll. It's worth about $4 that I added earlier. I have this Disney Yoda key. These are pretty collectible, but it's worth about $8. And we have this vintage ballerina doll from the 60s, worth about $12. I have this mini food lot, probably worth about $5. And then we have a little lot of Disney charms, probably worth about $5. Just trying to make it easy on myself. I did a lot of 20 for these toys, we'll say are $1 each, so that's $20 more. And then here's a lot of Ryan's World figures, and we'll say this lot's worth about $28 for everything. I have to start grouping it together to get through it all. Have a My Little Pony lot, and I figure all these are worth at least about $25. It's probably worth more than this when you go price all this stuff individually and look it up. Now, the little seahorse alone is worth $20. And then I have a Paw Patrol lot. It's got all kinds of goodies like big vehicles, watches. This whole lot, if I priced it individually, is worth about $40. And then we have a Pixar Disney Cars lot. If I priced all this individually, it'd be worth about $28. Now we have this little vintage classic Buick button worth about $3 and 3 of the little Tootsie cars from the 60s or 70s, and they're worth about $4 each. Now I love Playmobil. I have this huge Playmobil lot, and the big ones are probably worth about $3 each. The smaller ones $1, and then I've got accessories and everything. But when I did the math here, this whole lot is worth about $65. I don't know how I'm going to display all this small stuff, but I'm going to find a way. Now my Peppa Pig lot, I figure it's worth about $20 if I price it out individually. And then here's a lot of Roblox and Minecraft. I have to kind of sort them and see what's what. But altogether, this lot's worth about $32. And then we have a couple of those little Flip-A-Zoos. I figure they're worth at least $1 each. So that's $5 for all of those. A couple Sophia the First dolls, $4 each. And then this little vintage angel cake PVC strawberry shortcake figure is worth $20. And this McDonald toy lot's worth about $20 as well. The little Christmas boy and girl praying are worth about $10. And the LeBron James figure is worth $8. Glitter animators Elsa and Anna are worth about $10 for this set. And all of these Frozen figures, when I add it up, at least $20 for all that. And Anna and Elsa's dad is worth $10. Peppermint Patty's worth $5 and Woodstock's worth about $5. They're from Funko. Then I got this whole lot of vintage Fisher-Price Little People furniture, And it's probably worth more than this, but I'm going to say it's worth at least $20 for all of that. And then all these little toys we have here is just a little bit of everything. They're $2 each. We have 10, so that's $20 more we're going to add to our total. And then we've got one more lot here. These are more like $1 each, and we have 20 of these, so that's another $20 we can add to our total. Now here's another lot of toys, but these are worth more like $2 each. And we do have 20 toys here, so that's another $40 we can add to our overall grand total. Then I have this small lot of Bobby's World figures, and they're worth about $10 for the whole lot. And here's one more lot of 10 toys, and these are worth more like $3 each, so that's another $30 we can add to our overall total at the end of the video. And here's another lot of 20 toys, and these are worth about $2 each, so that's another $40 we can add to our total. Here's one more lot. It's got a lot of cool little stuff. Like, somebody gave me this. I love it so much. It's an emotional support taco. But this little lot has about 20 different figures in it, or little items. And these are all worth about $1 each. So we'll say another $20 for this lot of toys. Here's a lot of 4 Alice in Wonderland figures from the new cartoon. And they're worth about $3 each, so that's $12. And then here's a little Pokemon lot. The little pin itself is worth $15. And the rest of the toys totaled are worth about $15 as well. And then we have a little Mario lot and video game lot. And this whole lot is worth about $22. See, we just had so many little toys. Here's another lot of 20, and these will, I'll say, are just worth $1 each. Some of them are worth more than $1, but we're gonna make it easy and say $1, so that's $20. And then here's a lot of 10, and these are worth at least $3 each. Some of them more than that. That Chuck E. Cheese is definitely worth more than $3, but that's $30 more we can add to our total. Here's one more lot of little bitty stuff, and when I added all this up together, we can come up with another $20 for this lot as well. And then here's one more lot. This lot just has 10 things in it, but each of these little items could be worth at least $3 each, so that's another $30 we can add to our total. And here's one more lot. This is all Christmas ornaments. I love that Clausen pickle ornament. I think I paid $5 for it by itself. But when you add up all these, like the vintage Pillsbury Doughboy, and then the vintage elf, and Patrick from SpongeBob, easily worth $30 for that lot. And we have another lot here. It's got some miniature Lala Loopsy dolls, and those are usually valued at least $4 or $5 each. It's got a Garfield, all kinds of good stuff. A little treetop figure as a fireman in great condition, a little Jesse Jackson political pin, and some vintage Barbie accessories. That's all worth at least minimum $30. Then we've got a little Cabbage Patch Kid lot. Not a lot in here, but these are all worth about $4 each, so that would be $16. And then our Minions and the little furry cat next to it, all that together is going to be worth about $12. And here's a cool little collection of blind bag figures and Kid Robot figures and Stranger Things. There's 6 of these, and they're all worth minimum $4 each. So that's another $24 we can add to our total. Here's some little fuzzy critters like Woodsies, and they're all worth about $2 each. And then here's just a miscellaneous lot with rubber ducks and all kinds of little collectibles. And when I add all this little stuff up, we can easily get $20 for all of this as well. A little lot of trolls. Now trolls aren't super valuable, but that lot's worth $15. And then we have 10 Pez dispensers, and I always say Pez are worth at least $3 each, so that's 30. Got this little golden book of Scooby-Doo worth about $2, and a Stitch lot worth about $15 at least for all of that. Maybe more than that, but trying to be realistic. The Winnie the Pooh lot back there is worth about $5, and the little flop tie figure is worth $2. And these little Harry Potter cards are worth about $3. Then we have a little Toy Story lot. It's got a little bit of everything, and it's probably worth about $12 for all of it. Little figure that says, "I love you this much," is worth about $8. Those are very popular in the early 70s, I know. This little hot dog vendor that I love is worth about $5. Little Angry Bird keychain is worth about $3. And this little Skittles chapstick holder is worth about $2. And this Travis Kelce Funko figure is worth $12. This little cotton bag, since I'm from Mississippi, I thought it was cute. It's worth about $2. This little Fingerlings Green Dragon is worth $8. The Tokidoki is worth about $10 for the set. And this little Bluey lot is worth about $10 as well. Not sure if these are pets alive or lively pets, but the birds are worth about $8, and the vintage troll is worth about $5. The collectible metal Southwest airplane is worth about $10. Now we've got all of these little 3D miniature animals. We'll say they're worth $10 for the whole set. Got one of those little wiggle worms. It's worth about $1. I've got this cool subway car from 1991. I paid $18 for that, and that's about what it's worth. High School Musical purse is worth about $8, and this little American Girl Happy Meal toy is worth about $5. This Doc Mac Stuffins lot, everything in there, that's about $12 worth of toys. And then we have this big superhero lot, and it's got a ton of stuff in it. And I went in there and added everything up, and the whole lot is probably worth about $40. Next lot is all Disney items. That Jasmine pen is so cool. But I went in there and added all of this up instead of just doing it individually. And this whole lot is worth about $60. Moving on to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we have Shredder. He's worth about $12. The Hawaiian Ninja Turtles worth about $8, and the Rat King's worth $10. These little Hello Kitty Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossovers are worth about $10 for the set. And then this little guy here, he's worth about $4. These are my favorite, the Turtle Tots. He's worth about $4. And then we have a random VeggieTales Laura the Carrot, who's worth about $8. Moving on to Star Wars, we have 3 figures here, and these are worth at least $3 each. We have one of the spaceships there. I forgot what it's called. It's worth $2. And then Yoda on the base, he's worth about $8. And then we have all these little mini items. We're going to say $1 each. Might be worth more than that, so that's $6. And then the child sign is worth about $3. And the C-3PO car is worth $5. We've got these figures that are vintage. This sand person figure is worth $7. Luke Skywalker as the X-Wing pilot is worth $7. Lando Calrissian's worth $7. Princess Leia's worth $7. The Bounty Hunter is worth $7. And Han Solo is also worth $7. And then we have a huge lot of Littlest Pet Shop. I got most of this at a garage sale in a bag, and I can't remember if I paid $5 for the bag or $10 for the bag. I think it was $5. But when I added all this up, this stuff's worth a lot. Those little guys are worth minimum $3 each. But I figure it's worth at least $100 for all this Littlest Pet Shop stuff. And this is kind of like a wind chime, but you just hang it as metal hot air balloons. I got it at a church sale for $5. It's worth $15. I just need to untangle it. And here's my Christmas presents I just got. My friend Melissa got me this Golden Girls block set worth about $40. And a Golden Girls Squad Goals little plaque worth about $5. She got me this cool Ollie's ornament that I love. If you have an Ollie's bargain outlet, you'll know who he is. It's worth at least $12. And I got these really cool oyster shell ornaments, and they're worth about $15 for the set. I love how people are reusing oyster shells. And then I got this old vintage Barbie trailer. The front part's broken, but it came with the horses. She got it for $5, but I figure minimum it's worth $15. Maybe a little bit more than that, but it'll make a cute little display piece. Got this little crocheted flower plant worth about $5 that will hang up. And my whatnot order just came in, so I'm going to include it. I got this cool pizza rug that's worth about $12. A really cool lot of Happy Meal toys I can't wait to open up, but they're worth about $16. The Vampirina dog is worth about $5. This Pokemon figure is worth about $10. And then we got a Roblox mystery figure worth at least $6. And then from 2002, we got a Naruto figure. He's worth $20. I got him for $3 on Whatnot. And then we got the little candlestick Lemur from Beauty and the Beast worth $2. And this cool mushroom pin cushion, it's worth about $8. And then this is a car wash plush. It's like the brushes that hit your car. That is so cute. And it's worth about $5. Probably $6. And then the Chuck E. Cheese plush, he's worth about $12. And we've got this cute little crocheted Christmas ornament worth about $3. In our previous 488 videos of value in my toy collection, our total was $1,252,555. Now, when we add this super long video of all these small toys, we can add another $3,817 to that grand total. So that means our grand total for episode 489 is $1,256,372. I always wanted to say I had $1 million toy collection, and now I can finally say it. But I'm not actually a millionaire. I just go to all the garage sales and toy stores and flea markets looking for this stuff, and it's just accumulated to this big old total. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. I like to see what all I have and what it's actually worth. And I'm also putting all the toys on our Facebook page, which is called the Toy Vault of Mississippi, so check that out. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please think about doing so because it certainly helps us grow the channel. So until our next video, we will see you then.